Today we're going to talk about how to be really fast on your songwriting workflow inside Ableton Live in order to have all the tools at your disposals and to be really fast and effective when you're writing music without wasting time looking for something. Let's check it out. So the first things that you want to do when you are writing music is to have that every time when you open Ableton, you have already a set of channels and effects built in, so they don't have to load it all the time. So let's create 4 audio channels and 4 MIDI track. Let's go to Preference and Save Current Set as default, and you hit Save. What does it mean? That every time you open Ableton Live, you have, let's try actually, new live set, I don't save it, and you will see that it's going to boom, 4 audio channel and 4 MIDI channel already ready to go. Another thing you can do, which is very useful, is that you can have an audio channel and a MIDI channel that every time you open them, they come with a set of effect. So for instance, let's put an equalizer on this one. Let's put a mix gel, which is general compressor. Let's put a reverb in here. Let's put an echo plugin. You know, the 4 main effects that you're more likely to use every time, basically. So you go to the audio channel, right click, save as default audio track. Every time I'm opening a new audio channel, it's coming straight away with all the effects that I told him to be saved on. And the same things can be applied on the MIDI track, obviously. So for example, let's take those 4 effects. Let's copy them to a MIDI track here. Right click, save as default MIDI track. Yes. And every time you're opening a new MIDI track, bang, you have MIDI track with 4 effects that are ready to use. Save the preset of the effect as well. For example, when I insert an equalizer, the equalizer comes straight away like this. Usually the equalizer comes like this. Because I know that, so I want to roll off the basis frequencies that are not really useful when you make music. Save as default preset. Every time I open an EQ8, it comes like this. So let's do like this. I want to save this EQ8 like this. Save as default preset. Yes. Every time I open an EQ8, it's coming like this, which obviously I don't want. So I'm going to roll off like this. And I also put a very bell curve here on the high frequencies as well. So that's going to be my standard. And obviously, the same things can be applied for all the effect. Reverb, I like the reverb to have the standard decay time a little bit open. And then save as default preset. Yes. The echo plugin, I also like to have it on mid-side, 20% wet, dry, dotted 1/8, and I go to save as default preset. So all the audio preset of Ableton Live can be customized. So every time you open it, it's coming the way you want, so you don't have to choose the preset. And this can be applied to the MIDI effect, and also can be applied to the instrument as well. When you open a drum rack, you can set the drum rack to be saved with your favorite drum rack settings. In my case, I like the 808, and then when I open, when I go to save as default, I always open the 808. Can be done with another things, with this kit, for example. And I go here, save as currents. So every time you open a drum rack, it's always opening the last one that you saved. Okay, so another thing that is very useful, it's to have a set of return channel. So let's create 6 return channel, for example. And I usually personally like to have the first one, a very open reverb with the wet maximum on 100%. The second one, I like to have an echo plugin. Then I also like to have a sort of very short reverb, which I usually use it for snare and a percussive element. Then here I like to have an overdrive plugin that gives a little bit of distortion, not too much. Obviously I'm gonna always not put it full on. And then on the last two, I like to have parallel compression for stereo and mono. That is a must. I always like to have parallel compression, and I'm gonna set them on -6 because I don't want them to be too much powerful. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sends and return. So I'm gonna go to save current set as default. I'm gonna go yes. And then every time I'm gonna open a new license without saving this one, I'm going to have bang, all those effects. Okay, so the next one, it's the color tags. Color tags are really, really important, and they can save you a lot of time. So the way I modify my color tags, I have the red one with best effect. So there has to be, audio effect, any effect that has to be to do with the interesting result, basically. Then I have sample library. The sample library section, it's mostly my master plugin. I also always put those things in the master plugin to have some sort of mastering processing signal. Then I have melodic devices. This has to do with everything melodic. So everything, scale, chords plugin, Max for Live plugins as well. Everything that has to do with melodic processing and scale and chords. Then I have the green one, it's Rico instruments. So this is instruments that I have created, that I, presets of effects and instruments together that I just group and saved, and, that I use for my music. And, that really helps you to create your sound signature, because obviously when you create the music, you are going to having a set of favorite instruments and sounding effect. Then the blue one, it's the best synthesizer, my favorite synthesizer that I use, that has to do with the third-party plugin and Ableton as well. Then I have Rico devices, which is similar to the Rico instruments, but those are effect devices that I've created, personalized. And then the last one, it's sound design. So that everything that has to do with processing. So parallel compression, equalizer, limiter, metering. So and personal chain for quick mastering. Another really, really important thing is to set up your sound folder, which is this one here on your left-hand channel. So the way I set up, I have my Ableton folder, which I set up in 2016 when I changed my computer. That's a long story. My workstation, my music, master music, everything that is demo, release music, finished stuff. My download folder, my mixes and live set. Some of my favorite folder that I'm using in this period. So Dusty Lo-Fi Hip Hop, Raw Techno Sounds. Then I have my sound folder that it's a collection of 12 plus years of collecting sound and categorize them in folders. So it's a general folder, categorizing all the sound folder on the left column, which is really important if you want to be quick. Okay, so this next technique, it's a really, really game changer in order to be really fast and also to play within your tracks, basically. What does it mean? Okay, so I'm playing this track, which has a nice melody, nice sound design and everything, but I don't have the drums, and I need to create the drums. But I have another track, I have another project that I was working the other day, which has a very good sounding drum. And so what I can do, I can just go to this project, which is, so this is the track I'm working now, it's this one called Backstage Segment. The other track that I was working the other day, for instance, it's this one, IF for sure. And I can open the file project and I can just see all the channels of this project, and I can go to the drum, which was a 5 group, and I can just drag and drop the drum channel to my track, which will add the drum the way they were on the other track. And like this, you can, for example, let's play the track now. Now I have a fresh drum ready to go from the other track that are going to work on this one. And the cool thing is that, because this is your track, because all of them are your tracks, so they are more likely that with the drum that you're going to choose from another track to this one are going to be sounding matching, because it's your taste of music. So you're obviously going to make music that it's homogeneous within each other, maybe. You can also, if I want to blend two tracks completely, so I have this track, backstage segment, let's drag and drop the whole project, so which is this one, I hear for sure. So I'm just gonna drag and drop, and as you can see here, I can just release the mouse. And here I have my new track. It's highlighted, so it's this one, and this one is the old one. So obviously it's gonna be a mess. So let's mute the animal before, and let's see if I have one track one sound that I like. This one, for example, well, it's not sounding in key, but that's as another detail. But so what I'm trying to say that you can insert one track within each other, and just audition the channel that are going to sound good with the track. So that's a really useful trick that I use sometimes, and it can also save time in that sense. So yeah, that's basically everything for today. So it's really important for me, because we're writing music on the computer, and sometimes can be really frustrating and very boring to look for sound and open a channel and add an effect. So that these techniques are to be fast and effective when you're writing music. Everything is ready to go, and it makes music making a bit more exciting. So thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.